Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. I am Emon and you are watching Technical Emon. So friends, today with us we have Amritendu Dutta. So friends, first let me introduce to you our teacher Amritendu Dutta. So we would like to hear some few words from sir.
Hello students, myself Amritendu Dutta. I have pursued MSc from Calcutta University and completed my PhD work from the University College of Science and Technology, Calcutta. I have worked in Adamas career, a system concern of the RISE as a biology faculty, and also have worked in the Pathfinder as a biology faculty. Now students, I will give you the last minute suggestion of your class 12 biology ISC 2020.
So friends, now I have introduced you all to Sir Amritendu Dutta. Now Sir will give you some of the last minute suggestions for class 12 ISC 2020. So friends, I can assure you that if you follow Sir's suggestions, then you will just crack a 90 plus marks in your ISC Biology 2020. So friends, now let's begin Sir's class and Sir will give you the suggestions one by one. So please watch the video till the last to get benefited from our video.
Now I will give you the last minute suggestions of the chapter wise topics. So the first chapter comes reproduction in organisms, where you should read the following topics. Number 1 is binary fission and number 2 is budding. Now we come to the second chapter, that is the sexual reproduction in the flowering plants. From this chapter, I will give you the following topics. The number 1 is the megasporangiosis. Number 2, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Number 3, the features of the anemophilous plants and the features of the insect lovers plants. Now the next topic is the apomixis. Then comes the parthenocarpy. And very important topic is double fertilization. Features of anemophilous plants and entomophilous plants. Next topic is difference between exine and intine. Apomixis, parthenocarpy, and the last topic from this chapter is double fertilization. Now the next chapter is human reproduction. From this chapter you should read the following topics. Number 1 is the spermatogenesis and 2 is oogenesis. The next topic is the hormonal feedback control of spermatogenesis and also oogenesis. Next, the topic is the phases of menstrual cycle. Now we come to the next chapter, that is the reproductive health. From this chapter, the following topics you should read. These are number 1, birth control procedures, the STD, that is sexually transmitted diseases, the assisted reproductive technologies or ART, and within this ART the GIFT, that is GIFT, ZIFT, that is the ZIFT, and also the IVF. Now the next chapter is principle of inheritance. From this chapter you should read the following topics, that is the terms related to heredity, trait, allele, etc. Now the next topic is emasculation and bagging. Next is crossing over, pleiotropy, codominance, pseudodominance, and last mutation. And also 3 diseases you should read, that is number 1 Klinefelter syndrome, number 2 Turner syndrome, and number 3, Down syndrome. So you should read the following topics. The number 1 is Griffith experiment, DNA as a genetic material, DNA replication, post-transcriptional modification, transcription in prokaryotes, genetic code, and also HGP, that is Human Genome Project. Now let's come to the next chapter, evolution, where the topics are latest theory of origin of life, Quasarvet, mirror and Urey experiment, hot dilute soup, Darwin finches, vestigial organs, homologous and analogous organs, atavism, and recapitulation theory. Next topic is Lamarck's law about the neck of the giraffe, Darwin's law, especially natural selection and struggle for existence. Now the other topics are from this chapter: gene migration and genetic drift, Hardy-Weinberg principle, difference between Cro-Magnon man and Homo sapiens, and lastly the characteristics of Homo erectus. Now students, let's move to the next chapter, human health and disease, where the important topics are: number 1, infectious diseases like bird flu, swine flu, chickenpox, influenza. The name of the germs and the symptoms are very important. Next, we come to the next topic, that is the structure of antibodies. Also, the most important topic from this chapter is AIDS, where you should read about the symptoms, the causes, and the prevention of AIDS, and also the ELISA technique. And lastly, from this chapter, you should read the difference between benign and malignant tumors. Now students, move to the next chapter, that is the drugs. From this chapter, you should read the following topics, that is the barbiturates and other hallucination drugs, the LSD, that is the lysergic drugs, the heroin, cocaine, and also about the opium, and some characteristics of alcoholic person and what is alcoholism. Now we come to the next chapter, that is plant breeding, where you should read these topics, that is SCP, single cell protein, and biofortification. Now the next chapter is animal breeding, where you should read the apiculture, that is the culture of the honeybee, and the sericulture, that is the culture of the silkworm. Now students, move to the next chapter, that is the microbes in the human welfare. The topics are biopesticides, bioherbicides, bioinsecticides, biofertilizers, and antibiotics, and also the microbes in human welfare techniques, that is the microbes in the sewage treatment plants. Now we move to the next chapter, that is principles of biotechnology, where the important topics are RDT, that is recombinant DNA technology, next gene cloning, next sticky ends, next vectors of gene cloning, next downstream processing, and obviously details of the RE, that is restriction endonuclease and DNA ligases. Now students, let's move to the next chapter, that is the application of biotechnology. The first important topic is GMO, that is genetically modified organism. For example, BT cotton. Now the BT stands for Bacillus thuringiensis, a important bacteria which is used in the biotechnology. Now the next topic is gene therapy, biopatent, and biopiracy. We should read about the hemulin, that is human insulin, the human growth hormone, the golden rice, and also the stem cells. The golden rice is very important because in this rice the vitamin A supplement is present, and human insulin nowadays has become so much popular because it can cure the diabetes mellitus. Now the next chapter is population, where the important topics you should read are the hibernation, aestivation, camouflage, mimicry, migration, and difference between population and community, and also ecological niche. Now students, let's move to the next chapter, that is the ecosystem, where you should read about the components of ecosystem, the energy flow in the ecosystem, GPP, NPP, that is gross primary productivity and net primary productivity, and the food web, food chain, and also the ecological pyramids, and lastly ecological succession, only definition and types, and also the carbon cycle. Now we come to the next chapter, very important chapter, biodiversity, where the topics are genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecological biodiversity. Next we read the topics which are IUCN and Red List, the Red Data Book, the WWF, and the hotspot of India like Western Ghat, like the Indo-Burma region, etc. Also about the national parks in India and the Ramsar sites, which is the wetland related sites, and the World Wetland Day, and the Ramsar sites of the Iran, and the dates of the Ramsar sites, etc. Now from this biodiversity chapter you should also read, that is the biosphere reserves definition and the reserves present in India, and you should also read about the India's first national park, that is Jim Corbett National Park. Now we come to the last chapter, that is the environmental issues, that is the pollution. The pollutions are of three types mainly: air, water, and noise. You should read about especially the prevention techniques of these pollutions, and also read about the smog, PAN, that is peroxyacetyl nitrate, the BOD, that is biological oxygen demand, and COD, chemical oxygen demand, and also eutrophication, the algal bloom, the ozone layer depletion, that is, for example, the question may come, which gas is responsible for ozone layer depletion? Answer will be CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon. And next, the greenhouse effect, and the main important greenhouse gas is CO2. And ultimately some movements like the Chipko movement, the place where the Chipko movement was taken place and the date are very important, and the person which was associated with the Chipko movement also very important. And another movement is Amritendu Bishnoi movement in the Rajasthan is very important. So students, let me now talk about your main concern of your paper, that is the 5 marks questions, which is the most important part. Now the first topic of the 5 marks questions is DNA fingerprinting, which is a very important topic for this year. You should practice the steps of the DNA fingerprinting. Now number 2, Hurst and Chase experiment of the DNA as a genetic material. Here you should read the procedure and also the diagram. Number 3 is Messen-Stahl's experiment of showing that DNA replication is a semi-conservative one. Here also you should practice the procedure and also the diagram. The next topic is lac operon, which is very important for this year, and here also you should practice the diagram and also read the procedure. Next, the details about the spermatogenesis technique and oogenesis techniques. Now the next topic of 5 marks question is the Griffith experiment showing that DNA as the genetic material, and the Miller and Urey experiment of the evolution, and also the DNA replication process, where you should practice the diagram with the procedure. And then comes the microbes in the sewage treatment, especially the secondary treatment, and lastly the structure of sperm and hormonal control of spermatogenesis and oogenesis, and the details of the menstrual cycle phases.
So friends, I think this video was very much informative and you have got to learn many things from this video. So friends, if you are new to our channel, please do subscribe our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get more videos like this. So friends, now last of all, we want to hear a few words from Sir.
I hope that you will follow my last minute suggestion and you will certainly score 90% marks in your ISC 2020 biology exam. So friends, if you need further videos on any topic related to biology, please do comment in the comment section given below. So students, if you want to join my coaching classes, then contact me in the number given below. So students, if you like this video, then please subscribe this channel.
So friends, last of all, before ending this video, I want to thank Sir for giving Sir's precious time and giving you all the last minute suggestions for your class 12 ISC. So friends, for this, please do subscribe our channel and hit the like button. So friends, for today, this much only. Signing off for today. I am Emon.